Support from today's show comes from Incorporate. Incorporate's a site where, surprise, you can incorporate a business. Use the link in the show notes, thebiggamehunter.us/incorporate. And they are a fairly priced firm. After all, if you're starting a business, or you have a friend who's going to start a business, or a member of your family that's starting a business, you got to do it the legal way. Incorporate will do it for you. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. Episode 2265 of the number one podcast and Apple Podcast for Job Search. This is Novia Job Search Advice Radio. I'm Jeff Altman, the Big Game Hunter, and welcome. Welcome to Tuesday. I'm feeling good today, and I've got a show for you. Okay, I'll stop. So today's show is one where someone wants to know whether they should stay in a job that they don't like, or they should leave and risk looking like a job hopper. Hope you find this helpful and give it an honest review wherever you listen to the show. I've got so much more that's available. If you go to my website, thebiggamehunter.us, there's just a ton there that will help you in your job search. It's located in the blog. I've got courses that you can take as well. So go to my website, thebiggamehunter.us, and we'll be back in just one moment. Today's show is brought to you by Fiverr. Fiverr is a service where, frankly, you can outsource a lot of tasks to someone else and have them do it very inexpensively. If you've ever watched or observed the show notes, not the show notes, but the transcriptions for this show, what you'll see is work that's been done by someone I've hired on Fiverr. I've also had editing for my books done on Fiverr. I've had a variety of different functions done there, and I've done it for years. It saves a lot of time. It's very inexpensive, and I'll just simply say, use the link in the show notes. It helps support the advertiser and lets them know that this show has meaning for you. And with that, we'll be back in just one moment. If a new hire knows within 2 months or 2 to 3 months that a job is a bad fit for them, should they quit or wait a full year to not look like job hopping? Cool. So what I would say to you is it depends. It depends on your job history. By the way, Scott, I apologize for not saying good morning to you before and just leaping right into the, oh, good, chat on LinkedIn is working. So if you have a poor job history, changing jobs yet again is a red flag for an employer. And thus, when they see something like that, they detect a pattern that it's not about the employers you work for, it's about you. They think you don't have perseverance because there's always a problem in organizations. They think of you as a quitter. You're not going to be there for very long. But as often happens with long-term employees, like I had a neighbor many years ago who worked for her firm for almost 20 years and then changed jobs, realized that it wasn't a good choice for her, and then went to another organization. So that's a pattern that I've seen many times because long-term employees often think that the next place is going to be Shangri-La. It's going to be Nirvana. All their problems are going to be solved. And it's not true, as we all know. So there's a pattern about long-term employees changing jobs quickly. Now, in your case, I don't know your employment history. For someone who has been with a firm 6 months here, 8 months there, what have you, if you can tough it out, having a serious conversation with your manager about where the disappointment is, and you can say, did I misread something here? Because I made a commitment to you based upon these sort of things, and I'm not seeing that here. What did I misunderstand? And they may make apologies and say how things have changed from the time they made the offer until you joined 2 weeks later. But put it on the table with them and say, look, I'm not quitting. I want to be clear about that. I like this organization, but I just want to know what I misunderstood. And that becomes a way that you can broach this as a subject and address it so that you're not sitting there with doubts. You can see where you misunderstood something, if that's the case, or where they lied to you. And I'm going to be that blunt about it, lied to you, because firms do that. After all, very few organizations during the interview are going to tell you what happened to the last four people who sat at the desk that you're now sitting at, other than to say, oh, they got a better opportunity, which basically means more money, better work. We treat people like hell around here, so anything is better than us, etc. So again, if you're in a situation where this is your set of circumstances, have a conversation with your manager and be cordial about it. Don't freak out. Don't accuse them of anything. Put it on yourself. And thus, what that does is, did I misunderstand something here when you made the offer? And that's about you, not attacking them. So that's today's show. I hope you found it helpful. And if you did, here are a few things I can do to help you with your job search beyond simply being your coach. First of all, I've got a new book out called The Right Answers to Tough Interview Questions. It is like a cookbook with answers to tons of interview questions that you're going to be asked on interviews. And if you pair it up with my other new book, The Ultimate Job Interview Framework, they are a terrific pair of books to help you with interviewing. In addition, I have a new service where you can practice mock interviews. If you go to thebiggameHunter.us/mock, I've got a service there, very inexpensive, like $99, where we have mock interviews set up. I'm going to be adding more to it very soon, but you can record your answers to them, and then I can critique them and help you perform better on them. You probably have noticed my show notes are pretty thorough with products and services that can help you with your search. And connect with me on LinkedIn at linkedin.com/in/thebiggamehunter. Lastly, my website has a ton of great information. That's thebiggamehunter.us. Now, if you're not ready to go there and go through the blog, put the address in your phone, thebiggamehunter.us, Jeff Altman. So this way, when you're ready to go, you have a way of getting back to my website. Hope you have a terrific day, and most importantly, be great!